The new build up in the top lane that has been gaining a lot of traction as of recent is full tank Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai's passive works so that it heals you based on your max health, and players are running very tanky builds to take full advantage of this. The max health healing was originally buffed back in patch 14.4, which is the reason this setup can exist. You have so much sustain and durability when building full tank Rek'Sai, which makes her an absolute nuisance in skirmishes. Starting item that will work best for most games is Sunfire Aegis, as it provides that AoE burn damage that helps to clear waves. Stridebreaker is going to work great in the second item slot to offer some nice sticking power and the ability to insta-clear waves. Third item really depends on what the enemy comp is looking like, as Sterix will work great if you are against a mixed damage comp. However, Spirit Visage is the pickup into heavier magic damage. For the rune page, you're taking Grasp with Demolish, Second Wind, and Overgrowth, followed by Tenacity and Coup de Grace for secondaries. There's been a new setup going around on Set that has become quite popular over in Korea, and it revolves around running Press the Attack for the Keystone rune. Conqueror has been the staple keystone on Set for a while, but PTA has actually been winning more as of recent. PTA offers Set a bit more upfront strength and is very easy to proc due to his attack speed steroid from Q. When you're looking to take quick trades during the laning phase, the damage coming out of PTA will heavily outweigh that of Conqueror. If you pair running Press the Attack with Ignite as your secondary summoner spell, then you have a lot more early kill threat in lane and can really look to play for that level 2 all-in. The full rune page looks like this, as you're taking Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, while Second Wind and Overgrowth are for secondaries. Stridebreaker is the optimal rush item for Set right now, followed by Hullbreaker second and Sterix Gauge third. Stridebreaker has become an optimal rush item on so many different champions ever since Tiamat was added as a component item, and one jungler players are sleeping on with the item is Warwick. Warwick players rushing Stridebreaker are winning over 1% more than those going Titanic Hydra. Even though Hydra does provide more health, the attack speed from Stridebreaker combined with its active are so much more attractive for Warwick. Your dueling power and ability to stick onto targets is way better, which helps you snowball really well on that one item spike. If you have R available along with your Stridebreaker active ready, once you jump on a target, there's really no way they are escaping. Now, the rest of the build is actually extremely unique, as you are taking Eclipse second and then Terminus third. This is the solo carry build for Warwick right now, as it offers a good amount of durability, but way more damage than his standard bruiser builds. It's important to get the rune page right when running this build, as you are not taking lethal tempo and instead running Press the Attack. Next up, we've got more of an off-meta jungle pick here that has been seeing more play in recent patches by pros, and it's Rumble. Rumble jungle has actually been performing quite well in solo queue over the past little while, and is arguably one of the most sleeper junglers you can play. The setup is quite a bit different than what you see for top lane, as it's not Comet for the Keystone rune, and instead you should be running First Strike. First Strike works great for Rumble jungle because whenever he's looking to skirmish or gank, you're going to be able to proc the rune pretty consistently. Whenever you throw down R with Rumble, it's guaranteed to proc First Strike as well, so throughout the game you can generate quite a bit of extra gold. You also run Futures Market in runes, which in combination with First Strike allows Rumble to cheat his massive Liandry's spike a bit faster. The complete core build that you want to be running consists of Liandry's into Shadowflame second, and Zanya's is generally a great third pickup. With Veigar recently buffed and being played a lot more, there's this new build that pros have been playing that is a super high win rate. You're not rushing Ludens or Rod of Ages, and instead are picking up Shurelya's. From the base stats alone, Shurelya's is 132% gold efficient, and the item only costs 2200 gold, so you're getting so much value for such little cost. If Shurelya's were 100% gold efficient, the item would literally cost 2900 gold. It's hard to put a gold value on actives, but the movement speed that you get from Shurelya's makes the item even more insane, especially for Veigar. With the Shurelya's active, it allows for Veigar to fish for catch plays that he would otherwise never be able to find. Being able to get that quick burst of movement speed not only helps with catch plays, but is also super nice to help disengage when dive champions try to go in. The complete core build that you should be looking to try revolves around the Shurelya's rush into Archangel's second and Rabadon's third. First Strike is the Keystone rune with Triple Tonic, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight, while Mana Flow and Transcendence are for secondaries. This new mid lane Diana build that has been picking up a lot more traction in the past few patches is providing her with a ton of strength right now. Early on in the season, it was Storm Surge that was dominating as Diana's rush item, but ever since the item was nerfed, it's Lich Bane that has been absolutely popping off on her. Core of Lich Bane into Storm Surge and Rabadon's provides so much burst, and it's a setup our challenger mid laner Shori really likes right now. Shori actually has a full game commentary on our website where he's playing this exact build if you're wanting to pick it up. Diana was also just buffed in 14.6, so in combination with this build being incredibly strong, the champion is a really great S tier pick for solo queue right now. So that you burst even harder, it's Electrocute for the Keystone rune with Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, and Treasure Hunter, followed by Mana Flow and Scorch for secondaries. The more bursty Vayne build with Essence Reaver has been around for a while now. However, there's a new iteration of the setup that has become much stronger as of last patch. Instead of building Ghost Blade or Voltaic Cyclo Sword in the third item slot, going full out crit with Infinity Edge is now the play. IE was just buffed in 14.6, 6, so it's working really nice to round out this core build. You still want to rush Stormrazor and go into Essence Reaver second, and then the Infinity Edge is slotted in third. There's just so much damage coming out of Vayne's Q with this build, and it allows her to thrive a lot more into comps that are squishy. Being a shorter ranged ADC, it can be more difficult to pilot Vayne into heavier ranged comps or comps with high mobility, but this build alleviates that weakness. You don't need to be constantly auto-attacking like you would with the on-hit build to deal a lot of damage, as you can pick and choose your openings more carefully and just poke with Q more. Rune Page to go along with this build is Fleet Footwork, followed by Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace, while Sudden Impact and Eyeball Collection are for secondaries. A new Draven setup that has become quite popular over in Korea but is not getting nearly as much attention in the western regions revolves around Eclipse as a core pickup. Hubris Rush is still the most popular, however, Eclipse has been outperforming as of recent. Eclipse is just such an attractive item right now for so many champions because of its low cost and the mass amount of AD it provides. Most rush items in the game cost 3,000 gold or more, but Eclipse is only 2,800 gold. Eclipse is giving you 70 AD, which is even more than items like Infinity Edge or Quick Plates. The fact that there's also the defensive aspect of the item from the shield ties everything together so well for Draven, as he's an ADC who wants to be super aggro and fighting constantly. Your first auto attack is going to be hurting really hard with this 2-item core as you're transitioning into Essence Reaver second. Eclipse passive damage in combination with Essence Reaver's Spellblade proc allows for Draven to chunk super hard and gives him great instant follow-up damage when his team engages. For the Rune Page with this build, it's Lethal Tempo followed by Triumph, Bloodline, and Coup de Grace, but secondaries are Taste of Blood and Treasure Hunter. There's a new setup that you'll want to be running on Pyke for this patch, as Bloodsong is being hit with a pretty big nerf. Despite Bloodsong being the more popular support item upgrade for Pyke in recent patches, Celestial Opposition has been performing very well, even outperforming Bloodsong in the lower elos. Celestial just works so well for Pyke because it allows him to dive in and look for catch plays without getting blown up instantly. In a lot of fights, you're not actually going to be proccing Bloodsong anyways because you need to be auto-attacking for it to be most useful. Since a lot of Pyke's power comes from lurking in the fog of war and waiting for someone to get low to execute with R, Celestial lets him dive in for those executes and escape while taking minimal damage in return. The full build that you should be running on Pyke consists of Celestial Opposition as the upgrade, while Umbral Glaive and Ghostblade are to follow. For the rune setup, it's Hail of Blades with Cheap Shot, Zombie Ward, and Ingenious Hunter, followed by Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. In the past, Vel'Koz's support has almost always been played with mage items, but over the past little while here, he's seeing incredible results with a different build. Instead of running Ludens as the rush item, it's Shurelya's that is winning way more right now. Vel'Koz support players that rush Shurelya's are demolishing games, winning 5% more than those who run Ludens. Shurelya's is such a great pickup right now on a lot of these mages that lack a gap closer. Cost of the item is so cheap, and as we mentioned when talking about the Shurelya's on Veigar, the item is literally 132% gold efficient. Just being able to stay alive for longer due to the 8% movement speed that the item offers, combined with its active movement speed, is such a game changer. So that you have even more mobility, many Vel'Koz support players are taking Boots of Swiftness instead of Sork shoes. After building Shurelya's, the second core item in the build is Imperial Mandate, and then it becomes quite situational from then on out. With Shurelya's winning at incredible rates on these champions that haven't normally built the item in the past, we wouldn't be surprised if it's nerfed in the coming patches, so look to abuse it while you can. The rune page for Vel'Koz support consists of Dark Harvest with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, and Relentless Hunter, while Celerity and Water Walking are the optimal secondaries.